Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. And this is a paid request for Grande's Graveyard. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well for those interested. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. It could be any review, re-review, topic, video game playthrough, whatever the case. And I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. And for those who sent it, thank you. Really appreciate it. Now, Grande's Graveyard, who has a YouTube channel of his own, feel free to check him out. The Stopmotion. I know it technically says 2023, but I'm not calling it that because it was in like one festival and bumfuck nowhere. And no, most people saw this in 2024. It really came out 2024. So I'm calling it 2024. So deal with it. Now, the story is you have this mom and daughter combo where the mom works in stop motion, but she's got arthritis. So she has her daughter, delegates the duties to her, but the mom is very controlling. You could tell, now granted, we only get to see less than a minute of this, but you tell she's controlling, she's stern. That's not good enough, do this, do that. And seems like not happy with the daughter. So we don't really get to know much about these characters other than that. And our lead character is the daughter, has a boyfriend. And one that leads to know that the mom has a stroke, gets to a coma. So the daughter, she decides to finish her mom's film. Now, why is she adamant to finish her mom's film? I mean, I guess you could say she's a fan of stop motion, but at the same time, I'll get that in a minute. So instead of finishing it where it's at, I guess because she doesn't want to be reminded of where her mom had the stroke. There's a brief bit where she's looking and she sees her mom on the floor, then turns around and she's not there. I guess maybe to finally make a decision of her own, she's just this other spot. Now, I don't know what this lady does for money because she spends a lot of time doing all this and she doesn't really have a job, it seems. Until eventually she does get one, but then she gets fired within the day. So I'm sitting there going, how the hell you afford all this? Because your mom's in the hospital, you have an apartment, now you have this place here that I guess you're not paying for, but you think they'd be squatters or some other... I don't know. As she's working on this film, this little girl visits her. And the little girl wants to see what she's doing. She relents and finds you to go see it. And the little girl goes, oh, yeah, I don't really care for it. You need a better story. And I know this is a spoiler, but to me it's so damn predictable, it's not really a spoiler. I'll say this. I was not a fan of this film. Now, I will say there's some fun stop motion bits in there, and I'm a big sucker for stop motion animation. I mean, I like the way it looks. I appreciate the time it takes in utilizing this tool because it's very, very, extremely time extensive. It takes hours just to get a few seconds, maybe more than quite a few hours. But to me, what made this not work for me are the characters and the story. The characters are almost paper thin. You know nothing about this girl, the lead character's backstory. So when she does certain things, you know, why is she doing this? Why is she so crazy? Why are you so crazy? Why are you nuts? Why are you bad shit? You can infer based on the beginning, but that's, again, it's like we only see it for a minute, and it's like, okay, is it because she's got arthritis? Is it because she's had a bad stool sample going through her bowels? I don't know. She got a parking ticket that day. She's horny. I don't. I mean, she had a bad week. And yeah, I mean, you could know people that could be a bit bitchy to you, but that's still different from outright insanity. So you think there's going to be a bit more to it. It'll delve a bit more into the psychosis of this person. But it doesn't lead anywhere. I'm going to get to what I think it could have. But other than some of the stop motion effects, nah, I wasn't big on this movie. I know my friend Michael Keane, the Joy's voice, he wasn't a fan of this either. I know my friend Mike OCP, he really enjoyed the film. Grande's Graveyard, he enjoyed the film, so that's cool. Teach their own. Does the end of spoilers? Because I just have to. Within less than 2 minutes, I knew this little girl was a fake. Meaning, I knew she was a figment of the imagination. The first time you see her, she looks like the lead character, and they literally move in sync on a stairwell. I'm like, you're moving in sync and you almost look the same. And then there's a bit not too long after where she's going down the stairs. Someone comes up and does not acknowledge her at all. Like she's going up the stairs, like she's going down the stairs, and this other woman going up, and she just, hey, how's it going? Totally ignores this girl. Never 1 second looks at her. Just, I don't care who you are. When you're going down the stairs, you look at someone. Even like for a second. Just, I mean, okay, that's not normal behavior. There's something off. And lo and behold. So it was very predictable on that front. And it's a story of a girl going crazy. Let's watch her go crazy. And she slowly goes crazy until she's batshit insane. That, I mean, you could compare it to May. I mean, kind of almost the same. Well, not the same movie, but in a way it is. It's about a girl who's disturbed and uses people to make her own machinations. Or at least eventually does. I'm like, tape May, but put a bit of stop motion in it. And I wasn't even that big on May, although I probably would put that above this. Although I did like the stop motion in this, I don't know, I thought the lead character was a little bit more compelling in May. The lead character in this is just not really compelling at all. There's nothing about her I really cared about one way or the other. She's kind of just going through the motions, being told what to do by this little girl. The little girl keeps telling the daughter character this story. And, oh, this figure you have isn't good enough. You need to use that steak for the skin. Oh, that bad guy you have, the Ash Man. You need a dead fox to do that. And even if she says no, eventually she relents. Because then the little girl goes, okay, I won't tell you more of the story then. So what it's trying to do is, I'm assuming this is the case. This was a woman who was repressed. Her imagination was repressed. Everything about her identity was repressed by a controlling, domineering mother. And now that her mom is in the hospital, now she could be free of her own identity. And that person bubbling underneath is the little girl, representing her creativity to stand on her own 2 feet. And to be honest, I honestly think this would have been more interesting as a drama and not as a horror. Because I think if it delved into this villain, because the story being told in the stop motion is this Ashman figure chasing her, this little doll figure, and it's hiding and it's chasing after. And then there are times where in the real world, our lead character hears stuff and sees the Ashman in the real world coming up the stairs and looking at her through the peephole. I think what this should have been was use the stop motion, keep that in, This should have been a dissertation on abuse, sexual abuse. What I thought they could have gone into, part of me wondered if they were going to go into, but sadly they never did, was she, because of the domineering figure of her mom, and you could delve a bit more into that, maybe flashbacks when she was a kid, show us examples of stuff that happened throughout her childhood and pubescent years, where you do what I say, and maybe at some point either her father, or an uncle, a family friend, or a stranger stalked her, abused her. She didn't know who to tell. The mom told her, no, do what I say, keep it to yourself. Which sadly is that has happened to quite a few people. And now that her mom is not there, this is now her repressive memories coming back up. And in doing this movie, by this little girl telling her the story of her own abuse, you were running through the woods, you hid in this, he was looking after you. Her telling this will be her therapy, and that's why she's so obsessed with wanting to get this done, because she becomes obsessed. She starts ignoring her boyfriend, which all the guy does is be nice to her. Be nice and complimentary. That would also even help where she does get a job. I think the boyfriend's sister. Oh, work on the stop motion movie with me. Actually, we want you to just do the eyes. Then she sees that they're stealing her idea and she gets so pissed because she's tired of people using her or make her feel she's not worthy. The stuff I'm saying is not in the movie. The themes I'm talking about is not in the movie. It's literally just one scene after the other of talk to a little girl, we see the stop motion. Sometimes she'll wake up and our lead character doesn't realize she did the stop motion. Talk to a little girl, see it some more, and just do like weird scenes. She goes to a party, she wants LSD, and she looks like she's high on LSD, but then you realize she never even took the LSD. She has nightmares of a little claymation stop motion doll coming up and open up her leg because she got a wound on her leg at one point. Or her as a white claymation puppet running away from the Ashman, hiding through this mouse hole and being chased. But it's just images. There's nothing deep about it. She's crazy. Because her mom was bitchy one too many times. Ideas. That's the thing. They never go into the depth of the characters. They never go into her psyche. They never go into trauma when she was a kid. Was she abused? Again, the stuff I'm mentioning that I think could have made this better. Again, if you made it about a person and we see flashes and how her boyfriend, even though he's so nice, even though he's so kind, even though he's so cool, she keeps pushing him away because she's afraid of commitment because of the last guy who did it with her, perhaps, was his abuser. And then at the end, have it be a drama where she's able to make the film, and then she watches the film, and it all comes back, and she breaks down, and then the guy who's been helping her, she shows him, and that's able to be her therapy session. We see the whole film. We hear, I was here. Again, whether her dad, her uncle, a stranger, he went after me. He did this. Just there's even a bit where the little girl even says, oh, have the Ashman do something sexual to her. And the lead girl goes, no. So again, you think, okay, that means there's going to be some kind of... That's why she's so adamant to know. The little girl wants her to awaken this part of her brain. But that never comes into play. No, it's like a blue balls. Nothing comes of that. So you're just sitting there watching kind of cool stop motion stuff, or just a girl wandering around being crazy and crazier and craziest, but no meat on the bones. And I'm like, again, if they went with that direction of, well, this is what she went through, and this is her way of dealing with it now that she's alone and the mom's not there to keep making her repressed and push now these feelings are bubbling up, doing the stop motion. And that also could help in a, how many times have we taught, how many times have we heard of directors or writers where something deep down happened to them and they let it out with the art? So to show how art can be a nice piece of medicine for people, how it could be a nice purge of emotions and feelings and thoughts buried deep down, and to let it out to the world. Nice conduit to focus on, so it'd be a bit of a reprieve by the end. And so then we learn more about the lead character. We learn more about her backstory. We understand her more. We understand why she's so pushing away her boyfriend who's done nothing but nice things. This is why she's so obsessed with this. And you go, okay. Maybe that could be deemed as typical, but that still would have been a better story than what we got, because what we got is not really much of a story, other than her mom's in coma, she goes crazy, crazier, craziest, and then by the end, super spoilers, she sees her mom in the hospital. The mom says, you're a puppet caught in your own strings, and when you're done, you'll be put back in the box. Remember that. Again, as a puppet, white, just nothing with much of a face structure, just running away, chased. When she wakes up in the hospital, she's hurt, gets back to her place. There's a little girl strangles her, but because we've had such little depth, we're wondering why she's strangling her. I guess maybe this is like the evil part of her trying to come out, or the one who's wanting, because this little girl's the one wanting the dead fox and all this other stuff. That's the thing, like, okay, why does she want dead flesh? Why does she want steak as skin? Why does she want a dead fox? Why is this woman going in that direction through this little girl form of her? Why is she... Why? Why is that the case? She's crazy. But there gotta be more to it. Okay, her mom was bitchy. What does that have to do with you wanting dead foxes and shit for the stuff? Lazy writing. Lazy writing. Lazy writing. So her boyfriend and his sister come by to, she's hurt, she's hurting herself, need to bring to the hospital. She fights back, which makes me question how much of a pussy these two are. Here's a woman who is tired, who's hurt, who's strung out, and she still overpowers the two of you. It's not like she's fucking Gina Carano or something, or Cynthia Rothrock. No, the lead girl's just a crazy lunatic now. Kills the boyfriend. Kills the boyfriend's sister. Uses their skin for life-size figurines of the little girl and the Ashman. Then it gets to the Ashman confronting her, and then her face is clay and pulls it off and gives it to him. I guess to eat it. I guess to showcase that she's literally, her soul, her psyche has literally maybe been consumed by this obsession. Why it led up to that, I don't know, so I don't fucking care, other than, cool effects. I like the effects. So in the real world, she's lying on the ground bleeding to death, because the wound on her leg and stuff. But in her mind, the final ticking clocks of her death, she's in a room with the little girl, and the little girl goes, "The movie's perfect." And like her mom said, "You're a puppet, pulling your own strings." And then literally puts herself back in the box like the puppet she is. What led up to that, I don't know. And the movie didn't give a fuck to tell me. So then I'm like, well, then I don't fucking care about your movie then, do I? That's what I mean. If this was actually about someone overcoming some sexual trauma or some... If it's not sexual, then some other trauma. And she's, through the basis of art, being able to get those demons out of her basement. So by the end of it, of showcasing this artistry, she's able to breathe a bit easier, and I did my film, I shared my pain, I shared it with this guy who I love, move on with my life, and not let my mom, in her repression, ignorance, or purposely ignoring, not gonna let it control me. That'd be so much more of a powerful statement, so much more, to me, in my opinion, a much better story than what the hell we got here. Just, you saw the mom be bitchy for 30 seconds, so yeah, she's crazy. She's crazy, girl. She's a hoe, she's an insane hoe. Ho, ho. She's a bitch. Just her mom was a bitch. So, it's not the worst film I've seen this year, but I can see why this film... Like, by the end of the year, I heard like no one talking about this. The substance I thought was way better. I liked End of Violent Nature more, although the last 10 minutes I thought sucked. I liked Heretic more. I liked Frogman more. It's not as bad as Night Swim. It's not as bad as The Front Room with Brandy. But yeah, I just thought the script was just very lazy to me. Very lazy. Like, I just kept thinking of like other interesting avenues. Again, if they took, in my opinion, if they took that direction of being a drama where a person overcomes the trauma of abuse with their art by subconsciously making the film that is their trauma, and with the guidance of this little girl, you just still have the horror aspects of the Ashman, the stop motion, which would make sense who the Ashman is. Just who's the Ashman? Who is the Ashman? Where did that come from her psyche? Just because? And if there is anything deeper, the movie did not tell that in any sort I could think of. You're just a weird fucked up thing chasing her. That's it. Well then, that's why I think the story sucks. Among other reasons. If my friend Michael Keane, the choice voice, sees this, tell me what your thoughts on that. On my, I like to hear his thoughts if he can, if he sees this in the comments of, if the movie was a drama about her, if it was, the abuse, if it went in that direction, you find out who the Ashman is, and then it's, again, this is her art, using it to alleviate those demons, and then show her boyfriend, and then they worked. She's able to work things out, and she's able to showcase her trauma and deal with those repressed emotions, and then be a stronger person after the fact with the help of this artistry catalyst. Would that not be a more interesting story? A drama with horror elements instead of where the hell this was. That's just me, though. But again, that would have made the lead girl more interesting. Would have made her more compelling because we learn more and more about her. You don't really learn anything about her after the first 10 minutes. You don't learn anything. She's just crazy, then she's crazier, then she's craziest. That's what you learn. So I don't give a rat's ass about her. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.